Okay, I'm waiting for everything to go live. Hey, everyone. Hey. And I'm probably early. So we're going to give it a couple minutes. 7:30. Y'all know I don't like to, I like to be on time. So welcome to Chatting with Shell. Um, I am your host. My name is Rochelle. This is my brand. These are my platforms. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope I'm not too low. Today's topic is serial entrepreneur, freedom or burnout. So we're just gonna go over, a couple things. So also, welcome anybody that has never been to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast, which is called Chatting with Shell. I'm Shell. um, And so I am an investor of things that make sense to me, and that can be an array of things, from being a mom to working to where I place my coins to whatever. And welcome TikTok, welcome Facebook, and welcome YouTube. So again, I am an investor. So majority of my podcast will be on some type of investing. I really don't give advice because I'm not your advisor in any means. I just have topics that I think about. I think that they will benefit other people. So today, I was just thinking about the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur. So I am a serial entrepreneur. I work a full-time job and I'm a full-time mom. And sometimes the burnout be real. Like sometimes, like today, I really just wanted to just yeah, I'm just gonna relax. And I'm like, no, I am gonna do my podcast. Also, I cut my podcast down again from burnout. I only do it 2 Wednesdays a month. I'm at 7:30. One Wednesday will be chatting it up with me. The next Wednesday, which is the third Wednesday, I would try to have a guest. And so I also have a mug, a cup, or something. There would always be something in here. What's in here? Nobody knows. I had to get a sip. I hadn't even got a sip. I had to make sure everything was in alignment. So let's jump into it. So what is a serial entrepreneur? A serial entrepreneur is someone who has multiple streams of income, businesses, whatever it may bring in extra income. So in this economy and in this life right now, they talk about how a home needs two incomes. Again, I'm a single mom, so I don't have a second income. So what I would do is I'm going to be my own second income. I'm going to bring in that second income into my house. And why it sounds good, it sounds, the freedom, the money, the independence. It comes with a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of early mornings, a lot of, for example, yesterday, I worked my full-time job. And then I got off of work and I had 2 notary jobs to do. So I had to travel to 2 different locations and then come back home. I still got to make sure my children eat. I still got to make sure that I eat. So yeah, where it sounds good. And then you also got to think about it. So the entrepreneurship part, again, I had a time, 90 days to be exact, that I gave myself to just like kick my businesses off. Um, and it felt really good and it sounded really good. And then the reality of health insurance. So that's something that's really big for me. I think maybe because I've been in healthcare all of my little life, where it was like, okay, how let me look up these policies for if I'm not connected to a group policy, because I'm so used to working that I've always been connected to a group policy, which the deductibles are lower, the premiums, you get all of these perks when you have insurance through an employer, versus when you get insurance on your own as an entrepreneur. Like, yeah, that was one of my I really wasn't I wasn't feeling that. And then also the security of knowing I have a constant check coming in every 2 weeks. This check is coming in. To some people, it may be pennies, it may be whatever. But for me, as a single mom, I needed that consistency. I needed to know that my bills would be paid, and I knew how much I had to budget because I knew how much my food budget was, how much my bills was. I knew, so that to have a full-time job, that's a comfort for that part of life. Um, Sometimes you can learn fast and you can grow fast. So like my notary business, like it was like baby steps. But I wasn't rushing because I'm also a person that observe. And so I got into a lot of notary spaces, and I always do the pros and cons of everything. And I seen the pros and cons. And so my thing is I want my money that day. The day that you ask me for my service, that's the day that I want my bread. I'm not about to because it's pros, it's cons and pros with a loan signing agent and being a general notary public, where you do things like bank documents, where anything. I mean, people, I have learned that companies ask for notaries, like for people's documents to be notarized, and they be like the craziest documents. Like they're making you get that notarized. Like, damn. Like, okay. Um, and so that income, that I know that that's a good stability also, because people always are gonna need a notary public. I didn't know, and there's even more spaces that a notary public can go in. I can go into inspections. I can go into like home and car inspections. I could do apostilles. I could do a lot of things, but again, I'm gonna look at the pros and the cons. So, like with apostilles, that's a lot of running on your car because there's so many different places that you have to go. So, like here in Michigan, I think you got to go to the Secretary of State. Then you got to go to the city county building. Then you also got to deal with your clients. So, and you're traveling. Yeah, they make, excuse me, decent money, but look at the wear and tear on my car. Like that's a lot of wear and tear that I will be doing to my car. So I'm just like, I know it's there. You know what I'm saying? And so, also, to be honest, sometimes you can get too many ideas. Like you can get too many ideas, you can get overwhelmed. And then because with being an entrepreneur, you're upfronting the some, because again, there's pros and cons with everything. So sometimes you're putting up that money. There's, unless you're going out here looking for loans and trying to, do something with somebody else's money. But for my businesses, so I am a notary public, I have an Amazon store, and I trade and I invest. So with my three businesses, I'm not using nobody else's money. I'm using my own money. I buy my products for my Amazon store. For my notary public, I purchase my ink, I purchase my supplies, and for the trading and investing, that's my money also. So my businesses are not set up where I'm going to uh, require these banks or whoever to give me these loans for my businesses, because then I just I feel a certain way about that, because now you kind of have like a control over my business. You have a say. You want to know what I'm doing. There ain't none of your business. It's mine. It's my business. So I might not want to share that with you. So when I'm using my own money, I'm my own boss. Like I don't have to I don't have to run that by anybody. I don't have to get an approval. But sometimes the burnout can be real. So like another thing is um I don't too so like say I work today and I need to do something for Amazon, or I work today and I need to do something for my Notary Public. It was a point in time that I was doing all of those things, like everything on top of being a mom, on top of working a job. And again, the burnout was real. Like, and that's one of my number one things is I don't ever want to be too busy for my children. Now, every people can, do what they want to do and live how they want to live. But I came from where my parents worked. They worked a lot. And it was just like, okay, well, I have to work. So you have to kind of like take the back seat because you want these things, you want this and you want that. And I just didn't ever want to do that to my children. Um, and that's where it goes to you don't have to do everything at once. So what I did was I started prioritizing. I even gave so like even with my social media on Facebook um and Instagram. So I'm on a couple different platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, clearly. Um I told myself these are the days that you're gonna post. You're only gonna post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As far as in my investing page. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe you'll post something as far as with the Notary Public. But I still been kind of lenient because I did it. I did it for like a couple months. And again, I was getting burned out. What if I don't feel like getting up? What if I don't feel like it? And then I have someone that's following those pages that's so used to me posting something, then I'm over here with this guilt, like, oh, I didn't post today. what if what if my 5 followers? Because you never know how you can touch somebody's life. You never know, what they're looking at. Because I also have like a positive page. I try to post on that page, but I can bind it. I post on that page on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also with my investing page. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I kind of leave that open. Because you don't want to be I don't want to say you don't want to, because you can do whatever the hell you want to do, but for yourself, you probably don't want to be so busy that you forget you, because you also have to do self-care. You have to make sure you get rest. You have to make sure you eat. Now, mind you, if your day is busy, like today, for example, I had a meeting. So I normally work 10 to 7. But I had a meeting this morning at 9. So I've been at work from 9 to 7 today. And I had a 30-minute window to get all of this set up and get ready to do this live. So just imagine me doing that every Wednesday. Yeah, I was getting burned out. I was getting like really, really, really burned out. So you want to be mindful of those things. You don't want to lose yourself trying to prove that you could do everything. And in my mind, it wasn't even that I was trying to prove that I could do everything. It was more of I have to do everything, like because my children are dependent on me. I'm dependent on me. And it was just like, okay, well, you're not going to be good to nobody if you are not taking a step back and just reevaluating everything. What are you doing? Like, and then things were lined up for me. For example, I worked 10 to 7. So before, with the trading, I would be up, I'm trying to look at the charts, see what's going on with the charts, clock in at 8 o'clock, look at the charts some more. So now I don't have to be to work until 10. So that gives me like a little space, that gives me, it's just like alignment because again, so I am also very spiritual. And again, I'm just like, okay, I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed. I have these amazing spaces that I'm in. I'm connected to these amazing people. And then what if I just disappear? Like, I mean, it's not like nobody's gonna miss me. Not to say that, not to be, not to say that people's not gonna miss me, but it's just like I like to be present. I like to be transparent. I like to be supportive of the different spaces that I'm in. So yeah, I had to go and just take a break and say, and it was a lot of during fast. Is when I was just like, okay, it was before fast, when the new year, at the end of last year, this is when I decided, because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get burnt out. So, um, because for one, if you don't have a strong foundation, especially being a serial entrepreneur, you don't have a strong foundation, is gonna collapse. It's gonna fail, because you're everywhere. And sometimes people probably think like I'm everywhere. They don't know what's going on in the back. It's only I have one really good friend. I love her. That she knows, and then like my home, my children, my sister. I can't say the baby because he's a baby. But they know what I'm doing in the background. And it's just like my sister sometimes even tell me like, boo, you need to just rest. Like you need, and I'm like, but I gotta do this. I'm gonna rest. I, I even have a time. Everything is like so organized and structured for me because if not, I feel like I'm spastic. If things are not structured for me, I feel spastic. And that didn't just come from the military. That came from Kathy. That's my mom, for anybody that don't know. It was just my mom worked 2 jobs. I had to be ready in the morning because I had to go to school and I had to make sure this was done and I had to and it just that's how I stayed because it helped me. I had times where I'm just like, I'm not doing it, and then I feel like a loser. So I try not to do that. But that's where it goes. The time management is your superpower. Um, because like for me, I am a mom first. So my businesses have to fit into my lifestyle. Which trading and investing that fits into my lifestyle. A notary public that fits into my lifestyle. Amazon that fits into my lifestyle. Like, so I couldn't go out here and try to be something that's going to require me to work all these long hours. How? It's only 24 hours in a day, and I have to have at least 6 to 7 hours. I mean, I can really do 12, but I have to have six. Like, I have to have six because I am cranky if I don't have a good night's sleep. Like, I am not good. I've even had times where I've called my job and was like, yeah, I'm not coming because I didn't sleep good. And I knew that I was probably going to get fired. Yeah, because I was too tired. Oh, and if y'all can't see my cups, I have 4 of them and they have my name on the bottom of them. I know, super dope. So whenever you if you are thinking about becoming a serial entrepreneur, think about it. Or even an entrepreneur, do it fit your lifestyle. Is it something that you can manage? Do you have time to learn? Because with each one of my businesses, I had to take a class. Yep, each one of them. I took a class to learn what I was doing. And again, that was when I was just working just a job. So, at night I would stay woke. I would study. I remember when I first learned how to trade on my own, um, because I always just been an investor. Get my money, let the hospital, because I've always worked in hospitals, let the hospital, the military, the culinary job, whatever it was, invest my money. But I always wanted to learn how to invest my money on my own. How can I pick the companies? How can, I just wanted to know how to do that. And so I had an opportunity and I had to study. Like it wasn't no, here you go. Now you could do it. No, I had to study, and I was having surgery and I was in the hospital studying. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say I didn't care. I don't want to say I didn't care about what I was having surgery on, but I was so close to being done with my class that I was just like, I'm not about to let this stupid surgery. And it was a really major surgery. And I'm like, I'm not about to let this stupid surgery stop me from um being in my class. Like, I'm so close. I'm so close to being done. And I did. I finished it. It kind of took me a while because I had like because we had studying, then we had like an assignment that we had to do, and then we had to turn that assignment in. So, but just as far as the studying, like studying, and again, you study to show thyself approved. Everybody know that. So when you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, make sure you weigh your pros and cons. Now, for me, even with trading and investing, there was pros and cons. That's where the first time I ever heard of FOMO, the fear of missing out. I had never even missing out on what, like, and then I started seeing it. And it was like, oh yeah, I don't want to get caught in that. Like, like again, that's a pro and a con. Are you trading your damn rent money? You know what I'm saying? Or your money uh, for your groceries? What are you doing? Like, so that was really important to me. And then, like, say with the notary public, like I said, you have a loan signing agent and then you have a general notary public. And for me, yeah, it's more money over here with the loan signing agent. They make damn good money. But they also blow printers. They also spend a lot of money on ink. And then if that loan don't close, if that whole loan with the person buying the house, if it don't close, so say if you thought you were gonna get, let's just throw out a number, $185 for this loan signing. If the deal don't go, you don't get no $185 because the deal didn't close. Whereas with a general notary public, I'm getting my bread regardless. Regardless, I'm getting my bread. So yeah, that's why I look so okay. I look weird on. I think maybe it's because it's the way my camera is set up on YouTube, but on Facebook I look okay. On TikTok I look okay, but on YouTube I look like broad. Sad. So yeah, that was all I was coming on here for today. Is the pros and cons, and I was just thinking about it because it's May, and I'm like, okay, well, what topics will I talk about this month? And I want to, I have a couple people that I'm gonna reach out to because I want to on the 20th. I want to have an entrepreneur come on, um, and chat with us and just let you know that there's pros and cons. Like, I'm in a lot of spaces with a lot of entrepreneurs. And yeah, I know people that have businesses. I know people that work at companies. I know medical staff, doctors, nurses. And it's just pros and cons with everything. And just people just be so, it's like whatever is flashing. I just had a really bad analogy in my head and I'm not going to say it. But whatever is flashing, they're just chasing it, and it's like Yeah, and again, some people like to fail, they like to learn the hard way. I'm one of them people, I'm kind of reserved, and I like to observe what's going on before I just jump into it. Um, and I think my trading and my investing, I didn't, because again, I can't say I didn't just jump into it because I've been doing this since I was 19. So, and I started to learn on my own at 38. So it wasn't like I jumped into that. Um, the notary public, I've always wanted to be a notary public, but I just didn't know the steps. Um, and then the Amazon store, it was presented to us. I'm in a group of African American women, and they just always, in this group, someone always had something from Turos to Amazon to, I mean, there's been so many opportunities in that group for entrepreneurship that it's crazy. It was just crazy. So yeah, make sure you do your research. Make sure you do your pros and your cons. You want to be profitable, but you also want to be peaceful. Hey, hey, boo. You also want to be at peace. You also want to be purposeful. Um, because if you out here and you just chasing a dollar for something that 9 times out of 10 is gonna get old. It's gonna get old. You gonna fuck up. And sometimes fuck ups is not, you can't just clean them up. Sometimes fuck ups can be bad. So just be mindful um, of those things when you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, especially a serial entrepreneur. And so that's what I had to do. I had to stop. Like, these are my three. I have them, I have four. But one, I just keep that one in the cut. But I have three, and that was enough for me. Like I do want two more, but those would be those would be like where I gotta get business loans and all these type of things. But yeah, the three that I have right now is sufficient. They are so sufficient. They keep me busy. I remember one day I was telling my sister, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. My phone was like, ding, Amazon order. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going to bed. I'm like, now I gotta mail off Amazon order. Like, and it'd just be, I wouldn't be surprised if it, usually whenever I say that, an Amazon order come through. And it's just like, damn it. But why am I gonna complain? It's extra income. So yeah, so I will see you all on the 20th. I'll be back on the 20th. And again, I'm going to reach out to a couple people. Hopefully, someone wants to come on. And it could be from anybody. It could be a hairstylist. It could be someone who is an entrepreneur and they can weigh the pros and cons of how it feels to be an entrepreneur. And then maybe, I don't know. So I'm saying maybe I'll do a half an hour with them, and then we'll do a half an hour with someone who works a 9 to 5. Um, and because the grass always looks greener on the other side. Um, but like for me, I'm on both sides. I'm on both sides. So yeah. So I am done with y'all. It's over. So it's about to be 8 o'clock. I'm gonna wrap this up because we's done. And I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Okay, bye. Thank y'all for coming.